Okay, well the light's just gonna keep changing and I'm not gonna keep messing with it, I say as I mess with it. Hi everybody, my name is Rosalie and welcome back to my channel, back to Chubby. I started this video with like no plan on what I want to say, so I guess it's just sort of a vlog, because I feel like I've just sort of dropped the ball this week. And I've been keeping up with a lot of other people in the YouTube weight loss community, and it seems like a lot of us are having a bad week, and a bad couple of weeks. I don't really know what's happening. I don't know if it's just that time of year. We just all seem to be having a bad week, couple weeks. So this week especially, and it's gonna sound like I'm making some excuses here for a second, and I probably am, but I'm just trying to set the tone, okay? So not this last weekend, but the weekend before we went out of town, I had a bad time when I came back, with my weight fluctuating like crazy, my stomach was giving me problems. I finally mostly got it under control, but I was up another pound, and so then this last weekend we went out of town again for Josh's birthday, and there was a lot of food and stuff that I did not control myself very well around. And then we came back, and it was his actual birthday on Monday, and so we celebrated then with just the two of us. That whole day I'd been working on doing the taxes, and I didn't make a meal plan this week. And so on Monday, all day, for 9 hours, I worked on our taxes, and I finally got them done. So that's one thing I got done. I didn't make a meal plan, and I didn't go grocery shopping. And so it got to be 5 o'clock, and it was Josh's birthday anyway, so we went out to eat. And it wasn't even good. It was like the worst dining out experience I've had in years, but that's beside the point. Then on Tuesday, I still didn't make a meal plan, and I still didn't go grocery shopping. And I got some stuff done I needed to do here, and I think I used that as an excuse. Like I spent all day like reorganizing things in my bedroom and putting some stuff away around the house. And I worked also, but I mean, like, I just sort of like obsessively organized things around the house that probably could have waited. And I didn't make a meal plan, and I didn't go grocery shopping. And so then that night we just went out and got something to eat again at a drive-thru. And I didn't even track it. I didn't even track it. Like, I have no idea. I mean, I could enter it now and figure out like what the damage is. And I kind of don't want to, because I went overkill. I was really hungry from moving around way more than I usually do. And something happened with someone that I care about that I'm not really going to talk about because it's not my story to talk about. But they were really upset about it, and it upset me that they were upset. And I don't have very good coping skills, so I just ate a lot. And it sounds like I'm making excuses, and I am. These are the excuses I used at the time. I'm not saying it's excusable, or that I'm happy about it, or that it's fine. I'm just saying at the time I made excuses for myself and gave myself permission to get very, very close to binging, but definitely overindulge. And so it's been basically Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday. Well, I didn't eat it during the day on Monday, but Monday night, and then yesterday night, overdoing it and not tracking like I should have, and not drinking as much water as I should have, and eating shit I know is bad for me. Sorry. I usually try and keep this channel kind of like PG, because I know some of you guys watch it at work, but I'm upset with myself. But No, but I'm upset with myself. And I'm sure it's going to be reflected this Friday when I weigh in. So I'm not looking forward to that. But I also noticed that just over the past several days and even last week, I found myself falling back into some habits that I'm not real happy about. And like on one hand, I think it's a good thing that I noticed it. And I think it's good because it means that I'm busy. And I don't have a bunch of free time or anything, but okay, this is also kind of getting into something else I guess I want to talk about. For years, and I mean since I was 19, how old am I? 30. So for 11 years, I had a really bad habit, well, or not. See, this is what I want to talk about. Let me just get out what I'm trying to say first. For like 11 years, my habit was to get up, not eat, because if I ate first thing in the morning, it would make me feel sick to my stomach. Then go through my whole day working, really busy, and then it would get to be time where I was off. So for example, while I was 19, I would be working 2 shifts every day, and so I would usually not eat, start my shift at like 9:30 or 10 in the morning, and not get off until, depending on the day, anywhere from midnight to 2 in the morning, because I worked at restaurants. And so then I would be starving because I hadn't eaten all day and I didn't have time to eat all day. And then I would eat everything because I was starving. And then I would repeat the process the next day. And even as up until like a few years ago, like while I was a student or a grad student, I didn't just go to school, I also worked. And usually I had several jobs at one time. So especially while I was like, even through while I was like teaching at the college, I would have a class that started at like 9 in the morning, followed up with another one, followed up with some meetings, some office hours, some other stuff, other jobs, other things I needed to do, get to my grading, and sometimes I would be in my office until 11 o'clock at night, still not having eaten anything, and then on my way home, I would go through drive-thrus or wherever, or have something delivered if anything was still open, and just eat everything. So, essentially what I was kind of doing is intermittent fasting for years. And it could be that that's the only reason I'm not bigger than I am. And I found conflicting information as far as what it does for like your hormones and like PCOS and insulin resistance. Some people say it's good for insulin resistance and some people say it makes it worse. I don't really know, and I haven't made a determination on it. It wasn't something I was consciously doing. It was just something that I did. And so I've been toying with the idea of going back to trying to do intermittent fasting, because a lot of people have some success with it. Now, obviously, whoa, what is happening with the brightness? Calm down. Now, obviously, I wouldn't, if I did start intermittent fasting, obviously I would control my calories now, as opposed to when I would just eat whatever the heck I wanted, as much as I wanted, until I was stuffed. It was essentially almost binging every day to whatever I could afford. And that's also something I want to talk about another time, is like food and money, because it's complicated. But I ate out so much, and I ate so much out, that I was spending so much money. I'm getting off track. Where was I at? So with intermittent fasting, some people have good results. Obviously, if I did it now, it would be more controlled. It wouldn't just be like, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna binge. and then repeat the cycle the next day. It would be like planned and controlled. And also, like, some people have suggested, well, maybe you were like gaining more weight because you would eat so close to going to bed. But the problem with that is I don't sleep very much. Especially while I was teaching and in grad school, I generally went to bed at around 4 or 4:30 in the morning, and then I'd get up at around 8:30 or 9. And while I was like, for my entire life, since I was like 13, I'd say, I usually go to bed around 3 or 4 in the morning, if not a little bit later. What are you doing? Stop doing that. Anyway, like, since middle school, I've only slept maybe 4 or 5 hours a night, which I think is another problem, and it affects your insulin levels. And so I will either sleep like 4 or 5 hours a night maybe, or I will like crash and sleep for like 15 or 16 hours. It's a bad habit. I know I need to work on it. That's beside the point. I'm saying, what I'm trying to get at is that I would eat all that, I don't know, an average of 4 to 5 hours before I went to bed. So it wasn't like I was eating and then going right to sleep. So it could be that that sort of intermittent fasting, which I know is not the right way to do it. I'm not saying it's the right way to do it or the proper way to do it or that it was planned or anything. I'm saying that essentially doing intermittent fasting or keeping all my eating to a 1-hour window out of a 24-hour period may be the reason I'm not bigger than I am, or it could be making my insulin resistance worse. It could be why I am having so many problems. However, like, weighing in on the whole thing, like, thinking about the whole thing and trying to be objective about the whole thing is hard because it just is. I mean, there's so many factors that go into it, and there's so much time to think back over. But I have noticed in the past few weeks, while I've been sort of slipping back into that habit of not eating all day and then having all my food at once, my weight loss has been weird. Like, a couple weeks I would drop down a lot, and then the next week I'd gain some. I don't know. It hasn't been as steady as it had been while I was trying to make myself eat throughout the day. I've also noticed that some stuff, like, you can probably kind of tell right here, hopefully you can't tell too much, but like, the problems I have with like hair growth and like my hormones being off and too much testosterone, things like that, seem to be a little bit worse than they were before I sort of accidentally started intermittent fasting again. And I think, like, last week I sort of enabled myself to do it because I was having a habit where I would get up and, again, not want breakfast, so I wouldn't eat it till later anyway. So I was like, well, we'll just not do breakfast. We'll just put all of our calories later in the day. So that just sort of enabled the whole thing. And the point is, I don't know how much of what's happening right now is stress, how much is my weird, stupid long period, because this is like, I don't know how many days I am in. It's over a week. Not happy about it. And I don't know how much is like going on keto and off keto, and how much is just normal bodily fluctuations. I don't know what's happening, but I know that I'm not real happy about this, because there for a while, like the first 3 months, it seemed like this was sort of steadily getting a little bit better. Not a lot better, but noticeable to me. Hopefully noticeable to nobody else, because I usually try and keep pretty good rein on it, but like, and I need to do something about it now. Just being honest, it's there. It's a thing. Also, I don't know if anybody wants me to do like a video about things like this. Sometimes it happens just when you're heavier because that can mess with your hormones by itself. Sometimes it happens from PCOS. Sometimes that's just how you're born. Mine seems to be a combination of PCOS and because of heavier. Anyway, let me know if you want me to do a video about things like this. And side effects. Anyway, like, while I've felt crappy this week, like I feel bloated, my guts are still messing with me. Not to the extent that they have been the past couple weeks, but just still not great. And I've overdone it, so I feel guilty and I feel bad. On the other hand, like while I was like obsessively organizing things in my house that didn't need to be, I tried on like some jewelry that I haven't been able to wear in a long time, like rings that I haven't been able to wear in years. I can get on my chubby fingers now. Also, side note, my hands have pretty much always looked like this. This is like what my skinny hands look like. This is what they looked like when I was 158 pounds, which is weird. I've just always had chubby fingers. I got them from my dad. That's not the point. I was able to get on rings that I haven't been able to wear in years. And, you know, like those hard circular bracelets. I was able to get like half of those on that I haven't been able to get on in a long time. And I was able to put on a couple necklaces that like didn't, you know, choke me. Now, like I'm feeling one way and seeing, I guess you could say, non-scale victories in other areas that are making like the weight loss apparent. And I'm struggling with those sort of feelings that like whatever I've done so far still isn't good enough, and what I still have to do is so hard and so much, and I feel just sort of worn out, and I feel like that's why I'm trying to stay busy with other things and just not think about it. Those are pretty much my coping skills. Eat a lot or procrastinate. And that's something I need to work on, but especially when you're trying to not eat a lot. So somehow you procrastinate thinking about eating, and then that just ends up in not having food in the house and just having to go get something, or being too tired to make yourself make food, or giving yourself the excuse that you're too tired. So, anyway, that's where I'm at right now. There's no meal prep this week because I didn't prep anything. I didn't make a plan. And not only did I not make a plan, I feel like I haven't tried this week. I feel like I've just gone off the rails. Not real happy about it. But it is what it is. Anyway, I'm sorry I didn't get this video up sooner. I was just procrastinating again and kind of ashamed, so I didn't really want to talk about it. Or embarrassed. I don't know if ashamed is kind of a strong word. Well, kind of. Yeah. Anyway, I just didn't feel comfortable talking about it, so making myself do it now. Gonna go work out. Not to the extent that other people would. I'm gonna go like do the Bowflex for a while. And I got nothing else. So I will be weighing in on Friday, good or bad, happy or sad. Gonna do the stupid weigh-in. And like last week I was sort of obsessive about like getting on and off the scale because my weight just was going nuts. So this week I've tried to refrain from getting on the scale. I don't know what the damage is, but I feel like it's gonna be pretty bad. Which I feel is also gonna be an issue for me. Just knowing myself, if I have a gain 2 weeks in a row, I'm not gonna be... It's gonna be bad. But we'll deal with it. Deal with it and move on. So, I'm gonna go do the Bowflex, and then on Friday I will weigh in. If you guys want to follow me on social media, you certainly can. I promise I will try and post something sometime. And I will see you guys on Friday. I hope wherever you are warm and safe and happy and healthy. And remember to just try the best you can. But don't be like me and actually do try. So, I'll see you on Friday.